What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. And today we're gonna go over 10 times movies predicted the future. Before we get on the video, if you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, and let's get straight on the video with number 10, Blade Runner. In anticipation of the Blade Runner sequel releasing later this year, fans or first-time viewers are going back to the original Blade Runner movie to refresh on what the story was about. Blade Runner is about a dystopian universe, and it has actually predicted the future in a couple of ways. Similar to Back to the Future, we see video chat in the movie, but this time, Rick Deckard goes to the payphone and punches in a number that brings him to a video chat. Although AT&T did make a video phone way back in the day that somewhat resembles the video chat system in Blade Runner, the idea never gained popularity. Another thing viewers might have missed was when we see Los Angeles in the future. There's a giant electronic billboard of a woman that seems to be eating food. It may seem like nothing, but back in 1982, when the movie was released, billboards like this were non-existent. Number 9, I Am Legend. Though not the coolest thing on the list, I Am Legend does have a brief scene in it where we see a billboard with an advertisement for Batman vs Superman on it. Will Smith's character is walking around the abandoned and ruined Times Square when we see the movie's logo that strangely looks extremely similar to the actual one from the real film. Maybe this was totally an accident, but I Am Legend came out in 2007 when BVS Dawn of Justice premiered a whopping 9 years later. There have been multiple interviews with the writers and producers about the little Easter egg, and most say that it was just a fun little thing they threw into the movie. Some fans think that it was a small push in order to see how fans would react to the concept of the movie, but overall, it's only in for a small scene, so we shouldn't think much about it. Number 8, Back to the Future Part 2. Viewers of all ages love the Back to the Future franchise because it's a family-friendly and entertaining tale about time travel. Of course, when watching the movies about time travel, it's interesting to see the movie's interpretation of what the future will be like, so that alone adds to the excitement as well. In Back to the Future Part 2, we actually see aspects of the future that the writers got right. For starters, they predicted video chat, which we all know as FaceTime or Skype. The idea seems so simple now, but back then it was so profound. Even more important, the viewers see that the Chicago Cubs finally won a World Series in 2015. Although a year late, it's cool to see how coincidental the prediction was because the Cubs hadn't won a World Series since 1908. Number 7, Star Trek The Motion Picture. Star Trek as a franchise alone has predicted so many technological developments in the world. For example, Martin Cooper, who led the team to build the first cell phone, even said that Star Trek gave him inspiration. We also see personal access data devices, also known as tablets. They even have earpieces that resemble Bluetooth headsets. Viewers who go back and watch the series now don't even think much about it because we all have these innovations today. In Star Trek The Motion Picture, the replicator is introduced and it is able to make food out of nothing. Although not exactly like it, the replicator looks like a 3D printer. Technology has advanced so much, maybe we'll be flying spaceships like they do soon. Number 6, The Truman Show. The Truman Show was a movie released in 1998 that gained popularity for its unique and entertaining storyline. It follows Jim Carrey, who plays Truman Burbank, a man who lives not knowing that his entire life is actually a reality show that is broadcasted across the entire country. The people who watched Truman were obsessed with following what he did and what he said, so it became a hit TV show and Truman was unknowingly made into a star. The movie itself actually predicted a phenomenon that has only happened quite recently. Although there were some reality TV shows back then, it does not compare to how big they are now. Take Keeping Up with the Kardashians for example. It seems millions of people tune in to follow the lives of the family. Number 5, Super Mario Bros. Those of you who haven't seen the 1993 live-action movie adaptation of Mario, consider yourself lucky. But those of you who have know that there isn't too many special things about it. That is, however, except the movie's surprising prediction of a national tragedy. Many different shows and movies in the past have been pointed out for predicting the terrorist act on the World Trade Center. But Super Mario Bros. Likely did it the most clearly. Viewers can see a shot of the two buildings being demolished and a lot of smoke everywhere that's bizarrely similar to the way that they were actually destroyed later on. In a film that's considered to be one of the worst video game to movie adaptations of all time, that's really saying something that the biggest thing about the movie that people remember is the creepy accuracy. Number 4, The Net. The Net, put out in 1995, can only be described as an extremely dated early look at how the internet, very new at the time, was going to be soon affecting the life of a regular person. Despite being one of the classic cheesy 90s movies about computer technology that's almost hard to watch nowadays, they did make some pretty accurate predictions about where society was going. Perhaps the most prominent portrayal the net did was the involvement of online identity theft, and this is before a time when most people even understood what that meant. This is only one detail it involved, also including ordering food without going to the location, as well as talking to other people with the use of a computer only. Pretty groundbreaking concepts, right? Well, at the time, this was still interesting enough to draw people to the theater and captivate their attention and imagination. Number 3, The Cable Guy. This 1996 movie is a black comedy, one of the first directed by Ben Stiller, and just about everything about it wasn't executed too well, not excluding Jim Carrey's attempt at playing a likable character. What he did nail in the film though was his monologue predicting the world of tomorrow. He exclaims that soon your phone, computer, and TV will be integrated into one. Video games will be played with people across the world, and there will be home shopping. Of course, all these things seem like trivial aspects of our daily lives today, but at the time this was somewhat of a shot in the dark about the future. Perhaps the only thing that it was a bit off in his speech was that we'd be using these tools to watch female mud wrestling, which people don't do today, or at least I would hope so. Number 2, Face Off. If you were first hearing about it, it'd be hard to believe that an absurd sci-fi movie about counter-terrorism featuring John Travolta and Nicolas Cage would involve anything remotely close to future medical innovative predictions, but that's where you'd be wrong. The movie was released in 1997 and revolved around the two, one a terrorist and one an FBI agent fighting against each other. The hook here is that they undergo facial transplants in order to assume their counterpart's identity. While at the time they only used this to make the story better for the plot and more interesting, few thought that this would actually be a reality in the future. In fact, only 8 years after Face Off, in 2005, the first partial face transplant was conducted. After that, it only took another 5 years for the first full face transplant to be successfully completed. Needless to say, it's amazing how fast the field of surgery has progressed, and I'm sure no one working on the film thought it would be successfully conducted so soon after. And number 1, Total Recall. Total Recall is a movie completely based around the unpredictability of future technologies, so naturally, at least some of the featured gadgets would be similar to those that we have developed and used over the last 25 years. What's surprising, however, is the large number of technological advances that the film portrays that we find around us in the world today. The list of devices includes self-driving cars, X-ray security screens, virtual exercise consoles, and touchscreen technologies. And who knows, maybe we'll achieve some of the other innovations that we don't have yet from the movie, like commercial trips to Mars. As always, thanks for watching. We hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Valenplana, and I'll see you all later.